And you want to unshare
Welcome.
your screen. You want to change your screen.
Not yet. Welcome all New Jersey students, parents, and counselors. Okay, we're so glad that you could make it to the virtual college exploration. This is a little screen that tells you some things. How do you ask questions? You're using the Q&A button on your screen to type in any question to the presenters at this time. They can't hear you or see you, so you'll just have to count on the Q&A if you have a question. And if they can't get to the question tonight, they will certainly get to it because they will have a list of the students who have signed up and who have asked questions. You can also please go to www.njacac.org /virtual fair to see other sessions from other colleges and universities that would be there. This recording will also be available on YouTube. All sessions are being recorded and they will be available again at NJACAC.org virtual fair. Have a good night. Thanks for being here.
Hi, everybody. My name is Carol Covino from Berkeley College, and I'm actually with Pat Verrilli from Berkeley College also.
Good evening.
And I'm going to share my screen. Pat's actually going to be doing the introduction to this meeting today. And I'm going to ask him to, I'm going to actually stop sharing my screen because I forgot he has to share his screen. And he's going to show you a little video before we get started.
All righty. Here we go.
The world is facing some unprecedented challenges right now. Berkeley College was built on taking people out of tough situations, making their lives better. Berkeley was founded in 1931, the Great Depression, but we made it through and have helped so many students succeed. We've adapted through the years to reflect changes in the needs of our students and the demands of the professional world. Berkeley was an early leader in online education, and we've continued to expand and improve our capabilities to be recognized as among the best in the nation. We'll make it through this by working together. Now more than ever, it's time for us to be tough, be committed, be kind and considerate, be grateful for what we have, to be optimistic about the future. Our longtime chair, Larry L. Lewing, said, "The student always comes first at Berkeley." It was true then, it's true now. Because at Berkeley College, your potential is our promise.
Okay.
Thanks, Pat. Well, all right. So hopefully you enjoyed that video. It's just a little bit of a video that we did here at Berkeley College.
We'll go to ICU, hidden in the White House while staffers tweet for him and his doctor tells him.
Pat? Okay. So anyway, so let me just tell you a little bit about me. My name is Carol Allen Covino, and I am the Associate Vice President of High School Admissions at the Woodland Park location, but I act as the Director of Admissions. I have worked for Berkeley College for 28 years, and I have graduated twice. Mr. Verrilli, a little bit about you.
I've been with Berkeley College for approximately 20 years, and I spend most of my days either assisting students in high school workshops at a lot of the high schools that you attend. And you'll hear a lot of times today, we have a guest speaker from Berkeley College. And then I also have the pleasure of getting to interview students one-on-one. Right now, we're doing everything through virtual on the phone. And I work closely at the Woodland Park campus and the Paramus campus as well.
Okay. And I'm going to say, if you know him from school, just, you know, send him a little hey in the question and answer. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. And I'm going to lead you through Berkeley College. One of the things that I want to talk about are some of Berkeley's program options. One of the things that I find most intriguing about Berkeley College is our 4-year combined BBA and MBA option. For those of you who are in the tri-state area, you realize that Berkeley College has multiple campuses. We have campuses in New York City and Westchester County, but we also have 4 campuses right here in New Jersey. We have Paramus, we have Woodland Park, Newark, and we have Woodbridge. And I know majority of you are from New Jersey high schools on this information session tonight, but let me kind of explain how Berkeley College works a little differently than other schools. Of course, we work on a 15-week semester, just like majority of the colleges. However, this semester, you guys, many of you here are 2021 grads or 22, but I'll use 21 as an example. So this first semester would be September of 2021. Your second semester would be January of 22. Now, the third semester traditionally is September of 2022. However, this semester at Berkeley College starts right after the holiday. We don't take January off. So it ends the second week in April, allowing us to put in a third semester at the end of April to the very first weeks in August. So the first and the second semester are your first year, the third and the fourth are your second year. So this fourth semester would traditionally be in September of 2022, okay? But the third semester would be there. But so you can do this one in April, this one in September. So this is your first year, your second year. As I continue on, this fifth semester would be January of 2023, April of 2023, September of 2023, and this one would be January of 2024. If you went straight through Berkeley College without stopping out, you would graduate in April of 2024 with a bachelor's in business administration or any of our degree programs. But with this option, Berkeley College, if you decide to go on for your master's, you can actually take 2 master's level courses within your BBA, and then it's just 3 semesters to an MBA. So that's how you do a BBA and an MBA in a 4 years in, 5 years in 4 years. So I think that's really kind of one of the great things about Berkeley College. We also have an honors program. To get into our honors program, you would have to have a 3.0 grade point average to be actually considered through the admissions process. And then also you would actually get, if you were accepted into the honors program, it comes with a scholarship. A 50% or 100% scholarship, okay? I want to go over some of the course programs that we offer as far as, these are the campuses: New York City, White Plains, Newark, Paramus, Woodbridge, Woodland Park, and then we do, of course, have an online program. And, that brings me to talk about, in this time of COVID, you guys are forced to online learn, but guess what? We've been doing online learning for 20 years and we're an award-winning school at it. So we've got this one down. So now I'm going to just kind of go over some of our programs. We, of course, offer the accounting programs. Many of these have an associate's degree as well as a bachelor's degree component, depending on how long you really see yourself in school. We are the only school in the state that has an LPN to a BSN program. We do not have a straight BSN program. If you're interested in nursing, you'd have to start in the practical nursing program. I do want to highlight this one. This is business data science. This is one of our newest programs, and it's really exciting. Business analytics as well as artificial intelligence. It's a real up and coming field and very, you have to use that computer science with a combination of business. It's intriguing, actually. The more and more I learn about it, I'm like, wow, these are kind of cool jobs you're going to be getting. And of course, near and dear to my heart, because when I went to Berkeley College, I was a fashion merchandising major. So we have fashion merchandising and management. We also have financial services, preparing people for the future. It's not just, a lot of people think finance is just the stock market. It's actually, this program would lead you to be a financial planner, allowing people to talk to people that they have enough insurance, that they have saved enough, they're saving for college, they're saving for retirement, but make sure that they have everything else. It's the total financial picture. General business was my major. I'm not going to lie. After I took fashion, I went for business, general business. I love this program because it's kind of like a Chinese food menu. So this is where you get a little bit of marketing, a little bit of management, a little bit of accounting, and you can go back and you can direct yourself and pick where you really like to go. Graphic design, another one of my favorite programs, but exactly, I'm not that artistic. Graphic design helps students create the advertisements that you see. We do web design, we do video, we do game design, photography, videography. It's a really broad program and gives you an overview of graphic design, but as you go through the program, you start to hone in on where you want to be in that business. If anybody has any questions about these programs that I'm going over, please don't hesitate to put them in the question box and Mr. Verley will answer them for you. I'm going to save the health sciences for a second, but we do have health services management. Health services management, of course, we all know doctors' offices and outpatient care centers and hospitals. Somebody has to manage those establishments. So this is not a health program where you're going to draw blood or anything. This is where you're going to be managing people, managing projects, and managing financial. Information technology management, that is really working on the software and the other things that support businesses today. It's not taking apart computers and fixing them. It's analyzing if, Microsoft Office is what you want your organization to be using. Desktop support systems, network support, making sure that the computers talk to each other. I'm sure you all have had some IT problems over the last few months. My daughter lost connection today during school. Interior design, interior designers create the environments in which we live and work. And when I talk about interior design, I love to talk about McDonald's, because when you go into a McDonald's, they're usually bright and different colors like red, blue, green, but the booths, they're kind of slick and sleek. When you go to McDonald's, you can't get exactly too comfortable, right? They've created a fast food environment. International business, of course, all of business, but with an international flair. I used to know somebody who worked for Haagen-Dazs ice cream, and do you know, in the Orient, they couldn't sell cherry ice cream, but they could sell seaweed ice cream. It's really doing business. They make special flavors for different countries. In fact, some of you might be from a different country, and you can tell me the Coke and the Pepsi bottles and cans, they have different names and they have different looks than we do. Justice studies, criminal justice. Now this, I have, I think it's up to 6 concentrations that you can do. You can do social justice, you can do policing, investigation, homeland security, cybersecurity. There's so many options under criminal justice. It's not just being a policeman, okay? It is working for the social services agencies like corrections, probation, parole. It is not just what you see on TV, it's much, much more. Then we also have legal studies, of course, working in a law office or going on to law school. And then, of course, management, which hopefully, I wish I could see your hands, because I'd say, how many of you are leaders out there? Management is managing people, managing projects, and managing money, and doing it well. Marketing communications, I would like to know how you found out about this seminar tonight. Obviously, you're reading emails or your guidance counselor asked you to join, but how do you get the word out? And especially you guys who are Generation Z, I know you do Snapchat and TikTok and things like that. So how do you get that person to come to your business? Marketing communications, how to promote your company and business, advertising, and those type of things. Now I'm going to jump down here to national security, another one of our newer majors. National security, of course, is just that. Right now, we're in the middle of a pandemic. The president has COVID-19. Do you think that's a national security issue? I do. The pandemic itself is a national security issue. How do we keep our country safe? We can also go back to 9/11, national security. Whether you are looking to stop terrorism or to find out what chatter is happening, if something's going to happen, national security is more of an emergency management type of a program. You have to think about what might happen and plan for it. But it's a cool major. So, that's something that's a little higher level than a justice studies. So now I'm going to jump into the healthcare. So up here, you see we have the associate's degree option for the patient care and the surgical processing, but I'm going to talk to you about them down here. First of all, we have medical assistant. Medical assistants work in doctor's offices. They are attached to the doctor. They learn how to draw blood. They learn how to do EKGs. They take specimens. They do wounds. They might give you treatments in the doctor's office. Medical insurance, billing, and coding. I don't know if you've ever heard your parents on the phone with an insurance company that didn't pay the bill right, but I can tell you that I had a conversation with somebody the other day. When they bill something, you have to make sure that you're getting the right billing procedures and the codes and things like that. They just don't write down that you had strep throat anymore. So that's a whole business among itself. Patient care technicians, kind of like medical assistants, but you would find them in hospitals. You find them in emergency rooms. I got to tell you, when I first started learning about these healthcare programs, I personally thought everyone was a nurse. Okay, so these are kind of breaking down those people that you see that you might think, oh, that nice nurse just took care of me, right? So a patient care technician, again, you're going to find them in the emergency rooms. You're going to find them in the floors of hospitals. You're going to find them in outpatient care centers, large doctor's offices. Practical nurse. A practical nurse is a 2-year program for us, but it's a certificate at the end. Nursing is harder than you think to get into and to actually complete. Nursing is one of the most competitive majors out there today. So practical nurses, once you complete the program, you would find yourself working in long-term care centers, outpatient centers. You would not find yourself working in a hospital. In this area of the country, our hospitals are looking for bachelors of science. So there's a practical nurse, there's an RN, and then there's a BSN, which is an RN with just more education. Surgical processing, this is a person who works on all the instrumentation in the hospital, making sure that it's clean and sanitized and disinfected. When they have a surgery, they just don't throw out those instruments. They come back, and so they have to be cleaned, sterilized, and repurposed to go back into surgeries. And then that brings me to surgical technology, which I think is the coolest program. This is a 1.5-year associate's degree with a national certification attached to it. And this puts you out in an operating room in a 1.5 years. Yes, what I'm saying is the surgeon says, hand me the scalpel, that's you. You might actually have to put your hands in a patient. You're going to shave people to get ready for surgery. You are in charge of the sterile environment in the operating room. Before I move on, does anybody have any questions about any of our programs? Could you drop them in the chat box? I know I saw, Pat, I saw a question pop up.
A question came up, a very good question about basically, Carol, what happens when I graduate? That was one concern is, what about experience with the professors? What about interning? And, what about the key is how do I start my career?
Oh my gosh. Oh, I have 5 answers for that, right? Every one of these programs has an internship built in, okay? So you can go out and experience and get hands-on experience before you even graduate. And especially the medical programs, they are really taught out in the industry for the majority of the time. You have to do a clinical rotation. And, that kind of leads me into my next thing. I'm just going to go up here and focus on success, and I'm going to drop down to here. career services. At Berkeley College, our career services department starts the first day you start school. We can help you with a part-time job. We can help you with a clinical rotation or an internship. But upon your graduation, we're going to help you with a full-time job. But let's say you were a fashion major and you went to LRL and you worked there for 10 years and you decided you're going to leave and go have a family. And then you come back 5 years later, come back to Berkeley College, free of charge. We're going to help you. As long as the college is open, it is lifetime career services. Anytime you need to find a job. Okay. So these are some of the companies that we're working with. If you look here, Columbia Bank, Colon and Pereiro, that's a law firm, Clifton Police Department, Mount Sinai Health, Morris County Courthouse, Sloan Kenery, Merck, St. Joseph, Sperling and Partners, another law firm. There's a lot that we have to offer students, okay? So there's a lot of experiences that you can have. And I want to tell you a little bit about getting through the process. The Center for Academic Success, many times you find yourself struggling in a class because you're going to be in, you're going to be in classes that you're going to challenge you. And let's face it, sometimes high school doesn't prepare you for college. So we have the Center for Academic Success. And in that center, we do tutoring, we do study groups, we have a writing center and a math lab. But let me just point out the writing center. So say you have to write a paper. You're going to write a paper, you give us 72 hours, and we'll come back with helpful hints on how to make that paper better. And these services are all free of charge to the students. You know, Mr. Verley, I might have jumped over this too fast because I got a little excited. Do you guys want to ask anything about those majors that I said? Do you want to pop a question in about any of the other, I know they talked about, you know, what you would do and how you would get there after you graduate, but any questions about the programs, please pop them into the question and answer box. Maybe you'd like to, you know, just tell us even what you're interested in studying.
Carol, this morning I had an interview with a few classes and we were doing the same thing. And the key was, you know, the best way that we can help them is by them asking as many questions as possible, because then you could find out more about the career seminars coming up and things like that. So for the first student that asked the questions, that was a great question. So
I just saw a question pop up there, Mr. Verley. That's your job.
Me, okay.
All right, let's hear what this question is before I move on.
Okay, no, how do we figure out what to major in?
Oh, I have that answer. Come talk to me. You know, a lot of times you're not sure what you want to do, but that's why Berkeley College is here for you. We do virtual interviews and we can ask you what you're interested in. And, you know, again, like I've been doing this for 28 years. I can't tell you the amount of students I've helped through this process because we can figure out what you want, because I'm sure you have some type of an idea of where you want to go. But we're more than willing to meet with you on a one-on-one basis and really help you. But I did do a panel discussion last week for this session. You know, it was about the career exploration part. But many of the times, if you're at a Naviance school, use that Naviance, I think it's called a, yeah, why can't I think of the name of it now? You know, you take the little test, an interest survey, they call it. And you can talk to your school counselor. Maybe you just have an inkling like, gee, I think I really want to be in arts, or gee, I like architecture. And if you like architecture, that's where you should pick out Berkeley College's interior design program. And I could show it to you. I could show you the students' projects. I can tell you what actually happens in each one of the classes. So as I'm talking about that, I'm going to go back to the course sequences, and I'm just going to pick up on business data science, right? So what happens is I can take you right through the curriculum. and tell you what courses you would be interested in, or that you would be taking in this course. And if that's of interest to you, that might be something that you would like to, to look into. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to move over here to focus on success. We talked about the Academic Support Center. Okay. But I need to pop into here. I did mention the honors program in the very beginning. The honors program, again, is an elite group of students that comes to Berkeley College, and they travel through a cohort together, and they work on projects, things like social injustice and the world health crisis. Unfortunately, high school doesn't always prepare you for college, and sometimes you guys have to take remedial courses before you start college. At Berkeley College, let's see, I've worked here for 28 years, so we've been doing it for over 20 years, the Jumpstart program. We offer you to take those remedial classes free over the summertime, so it doesn't affect your real college process. Okay? As far as student life at Berkeley College, we have a lot of things that you can get involved in. Each campus has their own personality, their own group of students that would like to do certain things. So on that being said, you could just work with our student development department, and we can create a club if you'd like to. Say you want to do the, Broadway show club. We can put that together for you. Unfortunately, we don't run it for you. Actually, I should say fortunately. You have to run the clubs and the organizations just like you would run any other business. Okay, because that's the real line. That's the real bottom line, is learning how to work, and hands-on learning is what we're really all about. But we do have some honor societies. We do not have Greek life. In New Jersey, we do not have residence facilities. The leadership programs, our students get involved in that. As far as athletics, in New Jersey, we have a soccer program. As well as in New York. This picture happens to be of the New York basketball, which is coming up. But in New Jersey, we have cross country and we have soccer. In New York, we have the basketball teams as well as soccer. Okay. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about, let me, before we go any further, anybody have any questions up until now?
Any questions about the clubs or what they do in the clubs, or possibly some of the trips, Carol, that you have always done in fashion with Mercedes-Benz Week? And you ran a lot of those.
Well, my favorite one was the zombie apocalypse, but that's besides the point. They had a zombie apocalypse on campus. It was pretty fun. It was for national security, whatever. But I come up the driveway one day and there's bloody people running through the woods. It was pretty funny. No, but Pat mentioned on Fashion Week, our students volunteer and they go behind the scenes in Fashion Week in New York City. And they actually dress people who are in the fashion shows. They get a lot of contacts from doing that type of stuff. They might just be handing out gift bags to the people who are coming in the door, but they get to meet people, and it's really an exciting thing. Every one of our majors does something like that. Especially what comes to mind is our criminal justice majors. They have a lot of guest speakers come in to talk to them about their different careers, because unfortunately today you guys watch TV and you think that things like crime scene investigation, that they wrap it all up in an hour. It doesn't really take that. It takes a lot more work and effort than that. They only have 5 main characters, but in life it might be 15 that people are working on that case. So we try to get them the real reality. Trying to think of some other things. The International Business Club, of course, they actually got to go meet and sit in on a session at the, why can't I just lost the name. What's it called?
We did that the UN.
Yeah, the UN. Like all of a sudden I forgot the UN. But anyway, so they do an awful lot of fun stuff. Does anybody have any questions about financial aid? Should I kind of go over what's available to people? If you want to, I'll say yes in the question box, but I'm going to do it anyway. because at financial aid, I think it's really important that you understand that Berkeley College has given over $48 million in the last award year. We have legacy scholarships. So if your parent went to Berkeley College, you may be eligible for up to 30% of your tuition, or 25% of your tuition, sorry. We have a corporate learning partner scholarship. If any of you work for like ShopRite is one of our newest people. If you work in ShopRite, you could get up to 30% off your tuition. But we also have the Achievement Award, and they haven't changed this yet, but I'm going to tell you, as long as you have a 2.5 or better, you're going to get some type of merit-based aid from Berkeley College. And I'm going to tell you that that $3,000 number has gone up to $4,225. We also have DECA, FBLA, and HOSA. Any members here, say hi in the chat box. And then I told you about the honor scholarship. It starts at a half tuition scholarship and can go up to a full. For law enforcement professionals, we have a scholarship, but we also have our presidential scholarship. And we give out 7 full tuition scholarships, and we give out a variety of partial tuition scholarships. That scholarship is actually a half tuition scholarship. And Mr. Burley, would you agree with me that one of my favorite events is in January or February, and we have the Scholars Dinner. Any student who's getting merit-based aid or a presidential or an honors scholarship, we usually invite to a dinner.
Yeah, they come in with their family, they sit at a table, they start to meet their possible future classmates from all different counties. And, you know, Carol's up there, and, you know, the joy of just calling out someone's name and watching the parent see that their child worked really hard in high school, with, especially this year, and get scholarship money. It is a great night, because, and it's it's a lot of times we have our professors there, meet and greet, which is really nice. And we get to go around and really say hi to all the students that we met in high schools and through this. And it is probably, besides graduation services that we get to go to, this is probably the most important night for everyone, because we get to see your achievements come through.
Mm-hmm. But I can't promise it this year. It might have to be virtual. I'm kind of bummed. I wish this COVID thing would go away.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, so there's definitely money. But I do want to let you guys know that there are other things out there. And this is where people get confused. And I do want to touch it, whether you're coming to Berkeley College or any other college. When you do that FAFSA that opened up the other day, and by the way, I do have a high school senior, so I'm doing my FAFSA for her, right? The federal Pell Grant, some students get 0 and some students get up to $61.95 per year. And also the FAFSA gives you the ability to borrow money from the federal government. That's the Stafford loan. But in New Jersey, we have a grant. I know you all know we're the Garden State, right? And we export tomatoes and blueberries and things like that. But guess what our biggest export? Put it in the question and answer box. What is our biggest export in New Jersey? I want to see if anybody can get this right.
I don't know.
I don't see anything popping up.
No, come on.
All right. Well, for the sake of time, I got to move on. College students, you all want to leave, but New Jersey wants to keep you here. So some students get 0 and some students can get up to $12,686 per year. Okay. Now, this combined with the institutional aid that you would get to Berkeley College, once you fill out your FAFSA, we would see your FAFSA, we put it together with a package, we call your parents and you look over the package, and then you decide. Berkeley College is Middle States accredited, and we also hold some other accreditations as far as the Business Council accreditation, the Board of Regents, CETA, that's the Interior Design Association. We are a Veterans Award-winning program. And Pat, what did we just learn? We just won the best colleges for News and World Report, right?
I have it right here. If I could share it. Let's see.
I'll stop sharing me.
Okay. Yes, here we go. This is not an easy award to do. Okay. Best regional college in the North, 2021 U.S. News and World Report. Also economic diversity and least debt lists.
And a couple years ago, we got mobility. So we taking people from lower incomes to higher incomes. It was kind of exciting for us. So actually, we wanted to post a link to have you opt in. But if you want more information about Berkeley College, please visit berkeleycollege.edu. We have an open house coming up on October 24th. That's where you would see a panel of professors. You would see some graduates, some current students. They'll give you their skinny. I pretty much gave you the real background about Berkeley College. If you'd like to apply to Berkeley College, go to berkeleycollege.edu/apply, and you can do your application today. We are test optional. However, so we don't have to look at your SATs or your ACTs. I am going to have you take the AccuPlacer, though, for placement as well as acceptance into the college at this point. Mr. Rulli, where'd you go? He disappeared on me. Anyway, anybody have any questions before we say goodbye? Because we have to end at 7:45, and I think I've told you. Look, who's calling him already? Really? Somebody called you already. Anyway, again, that's berkeleycollege.edu and /apply, or, just go to the website and request more information. Or if you see an email from Berkeley College, please click on it, open it, see if you want to investigate it. But when we start doing tours on campus, I'd love to see you on campus. If not, I'm going to do it virtually.
Okay. Carol, if I could say, I did put on one of the questions, Carol's email. It is cja@berkeleycollege.edu. So C is in Carol, J, we'll say Jill, and A, Alan at Berkeley College.
I do candy jelly bean apple.
Yep. Oh, wow. That's very, very good.
Anyway, I see people are leaving us. I want to thank you very much for participating in our session. And again, hopefully we can be a help to you. My telephone number is also 973-278-5400, extension 1704. Guys, you've been a great group. Mrs. Hatch, do you have anything to say before they all leave?
I do. I need to share a screen here. Come on, get over there. Why is it not going over? Come on. Screen 2, share. Something's wrong here. So thank you for joining us. When this closes down, there will be a quick survey, the little 4-question survey. You can sign up for more sessions for different colleges and universities at NJACAC.org/virtual fair. There will be a recording made available of this session within a week or so. You can find that at NJACAC.org/virtual fair also. So thanks for being there. Thank you,
Thanks, guys.
Berkeley. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you all.